Hey guys, what's going on? MJ Madness here, and the NFL playoffs are right around the corner. So today I'm going to be giving you my complete playoff preview and predictions from Super Wildcard Round all the way up to Super Bowl 56. So without further ado, let's jump right into it over in the AFC with our first wildcard matchup, which has the Kansas City Chiefs taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, the Steelers just barely snuck into the playoffs, and the Chiefs are one of the best teams in football, so I don't think this game is going to be particularly close. I mean, of course, this is the NFL and anything could happen, but this would be the upset that I think would surprise me the most of all of these wildcard games, because I think the Chiefs are just a dominant team. They've really figured things out as of late. The Steelers hobbled into the playoffs, getting a little lucky with the Jags beating the Colts, and also that the Raiders-Chargers game didn't end up in the tie. So I think, in a way, Roethlisberger and the Steelers are kind of just happy to be there, and maybe that's dangerous for Kansas City, but still I think the Chiefs are just too talented for them not to win this game against the Steelers. So I think they'll win this one pretty comfortably and advance to the next round. The next game is one that I think will be a lot closer, and it should be a fun one as well. Two divisional rivals going head-to-head once again in the Buffalo Bills and the New England Patriots. I think the Patriots are a really sexy upset pick here, and I completely understand why. Bill Belichick, of course, may be the best coach of all time, and the Bills have had their struggles as of late, and so I wouldn't be surprised if the Patriots pulled off the upset, but for now, I'm trusting the Bills. I have faith in Josh Allen, even though he's had his issues. I think they're going to figure things out at home and knock off the Patriots, though I do think this will be a close game that could go either way. The final wildcard matchup over in the AFC, another fun one between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Las Vegas Raiders. The Bengals are a really, really fun and exciting team. They've got explosive offense. Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase are just so much fun to watch, and I think they're going to translate some of that success to the playoffs, at least in this first round against Las Vegas, who is another team that got a little lucky to sneak their way into the playoffs, though I am super impressed of how the Raiders have performed this season, all the adversity they thought through, and I could see them pulling off the upset here. It wouldn't surprise me, but for now, I just think the explosiveness that Cincinnati has is going to be enough for them to get by and knock off Las Vegas in the wildcard round. Moving over to the NFC wildcard games, we have another series of exciting matchups. The first one, though, is a game that, much like the Chiefs-Steelers, I don't think is going to be particularly close. And this is between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Tom Brady against the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, I know the Eagles beat Brady in the Super Bowl a few years ago, but these teams and these players are very different now, and for the Eagles, I think all of the strengths they have are kind of neutralized by Tampa Bay, and the Buccaneers are just, I mean, they're the defending Super Bowl champions. What else can you say? So I think they're going to pretty easily take care of business and knock off Philadelphia in this game. The next one, this is a great game. The Dallas Cowboys and the San Francisco 49ers. The Cowboys have so much hype around them right now. A lot of people really predicting them to make some noise in the playoffs, and I get it, but on the other hand, I think somebody needs to be the one who knocks the Cowboys down a bit. They need a hater, and that hater is going to be me, because I think that the 49ers are a good enough team to knock off the Cowboys in the first round. I know the Cowboys, at their best, can be a Super Bowl contender. I know they have explosive offense. I know they have weapons, all this and all that. But San Francisco is a talented team too. They've had those gutsy wins this season. And Jimmy Garoppolo, for all his faults, he can win playoff games. And I think he's going to win this one. And so I know it might be a shocking upset. I know it might be bold. But I'm rocking with the 49ers here. And I'm hating on the Cowboys. I think they're going to get knocked out in the wildcard round, and I'm picking San Francisco to advance. The last wildcard matchup is another very good matchup between two divisional foes, the Los Angeles Rams and the Arizona Cardinals. But first, I just got to ask, man, what happened to Arizona this season? Because they started out so hot, they looked so fun, and they've really sort of just limped to the finish line. They struggled mightily to end the year, and unfortunately for them, I don't see things changing too much in the playoffs. The Rams are coming off a loss to the 49ers. They're going to look to bounce back. Stafford is going to look to prove himself in the playoffs, and I think they're going to succeed, at least in this wildcard matchup. So I have the Rams moving on. But now that those wildcard games are concluded, my divisional matchups, I have the Tennessee Titans taking on the Bengals, the Chiefs against the Bills, the Packers against the 49ers, and then finally the Rams against the Buccaneers. But jumping back over to the AFC, the first game would be between the Tennessee Titans and the Cincinnati Bengals. And this is a game where I think the magic finally runs out for Cincinnati. This is a team that's on the rise, but I think they're still young. They don't have recent playoff experience, and the Titans are a team who are getting healthy, who have had some impressive wins, and so I think they're going to be able to take care of business right here and end Cincinnati's run, though definitely in the future I think the Bengals will make more noise in the playoffs, and even getting by the Raiders I think would be a victory for them, considering they haven't won a playoff game in so long. But for right now, I'm going with the experienced Titans, the 1 seed who are rested on a bye, to knock off Cincinnati in this game. And then the other AFC divisional game between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Buffalo Bills. I think the Bills were a lot of people's Super Bowl picks to start the year. I think a lot of people thought this would be the year they'd make a run, and I think they've disappointed a little bit. The Chiefs were another team that at the start of the year looked to have disappointed a bit, but they really have, I think, turned into the Chiefs of old as the season went on, and so I think they're going to be hitting full stride right here, and the Bills, who I predict will have just got through sort of a really tough, exhausting battle against the Patriots versus a Chiefs team that I think comfortably will be able to take care of business against Pittsburgh, that's going to make a difference. Kansas City has strong home field advantage. They have maybe the best quarterback in football with Patrick Mahomes, who, despite his struggles, is still supremely talented. And so, because of that, I think Kansas City is going to have what it takes to once again advance to the AFC Championships this year. Over on the NFC side, the Green Bay Packers are the 1 seed who received that coveted bye, and they'll be taking on the San Francisco 49ers. Now, these two teams have history. The 49ers have actually had the Packers' number in the playoffs in recent years, and I think that history matters, absolutely, but this year things might be different. The Packers are a stronger team, I think. They're going to be well rested off the bye. The 49ers, meanwhile, are a bit of a weaker team, I think, than they have been in years past, struggling with injury issues, and if they do get by the Cowboys, much like the Bills, I think that's going to be a real battle in the wild card round that's going to wear them out. And so, because of that, I think the Packers are going to kind of exercise some of those playoff demons, and they'll have what it takes to knock off San Francisco in this game. The final divisional matchup between the Los Angeles Rams and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, this should be another good one. Let me just say I'm super excited for these playoffs. With the expanded field, the extra games, and lots of teams who could potentially make some noise, I think this will be a very fun postseason to watch, and this game would be no exception because both the Buccaneers and the Rams are two high-powered offenses with good coaching and superstar players, so this would just be, I think, a very fun shootout and a great playoff game. And I completely understand why the Buccaneers might be favored here. As I said before, they are the defending Super Bowl champions, and they have the greatest of all time, Tom Brady, on their team. So it's very hard to doubt them, but I think somebody has to do it. And so it wouldn't be the NFL without a few upsets, and I think this is going to be another one. And so I think the defending Super Bowl champions, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they're going home in round 2 of the playoffs, and the Los Angeles Rams are going to be the team that knocks them out. And so that's right, I'm picking LA to knock off Tampa Bay in this matchup and advance to the NFC Championships, setting up now a very fun series of championship games between, on the AFC side, the Kansas City Chiefs and the Tennessee Titans, and then over in the NFC, the Los Angeles Rams and the Green Bay Packers. This Chiefs-Titans game should be interesting. The Titans have actually pulled off upsets over the Chiefs in recent years. Even in the regular season, they were able to pull it off. But I think this time things are going to go a little bit differently because the Chiefs, again, are really just hitting their stride. And when they're at their best, they're really hard to stop. And so while I would love for the Titans to pull off the upset one more time, and I think a lot of people would, I just don't see it happening, unfortunately. And so I'm going with the Chiefs knocking off the Titans in the AFC Championship to advance to their third straight Super Bowl. The question of who they'll be facing, however, I think is going to be a much more complicated one because this game between the Rams and the Packers would be, I think, a very good one. These two teams both have some of the best players in the entire NFL. They have great depth, talent on both sides of the ball, and I think this would be one that could go down to the wire and that could absolutely go either way. But at the end of the day, there can only be one winner, and the team that I'm picking for the win, maybe another upset. I'm going with the 4-seeded Los Angeles Rams, knocking off the Green Bay Packers to advance to the Super Bowl. I just believe the hype with LA, and I know they've had some disappointing losses as of late, but this is a team that, when they put it all together, they look like a Super Bowl contender. Not to say that Green Bay doesn't, but I don't know. I think the Rams have some magic in them this year. I trust Matt Stafford. I trust Sean McVay. I like the weapons they've built around them. This is a team that's going all in, and I think it's going to pay off right here and send the Rams to the Super Bowl, which means that I'm predicting that the 2022 Super Bowl will be between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Los Angeles Rams. And man, would this be a fun game to watch. Two of the most exciting, energetic, and creative teams in football with some great offensive talent, great offensive players, great coaching, really just two amazing football teams that I think would create a treat of a Super Bowl to watch. This is a game that could be a very, very close one. Both of these teams have strong cases to be made for them being this year's Super Bowl champion. But at the end of the day, I have to pick a winner, and I am predicting that the 2022 Super Bowl winners will be the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm going with Kansas City once again. They were let down last year in the Super Bowl with that loss to Tampa Bay. They've had their fair share of failures this season, and I think that's going to motivate them. This is a team that is going to really just be at full strength in the playoffs. They're building momentum. They have the experience. They have the talent, and I see them putting it all together once again this playoff run for something special in Kansas City. So I'm going with the Chiefs here. I see them knocking off the Steelers, I see them knocking off the Titans, and I see them knocking off the Bills, and then finally knocking off the Rams in the Super Bowl. I think it's going to be tough without that bye. It's going to be tough with how many other talented teams there are in this postseason field, because honestly, there are 5 or 6 that I could totally make a case for being Super Bowl champions. But I believe in the Chiefs. I think they have the talent to get it done, and so that's my prediction for who's going to win the Super Bowl this year. But I want to know who you guys think is going to win the Super Bowl. So please let me know down in the comment section below your predictions for this NFL postseason. Also, let me know what you thought about mine, if there's anything you would change. And if you're as excited as I am for these playoffs, then please leave a like and subscribe for more NFL content throughout the playoffs and beyond, because we'll be covering it right here on MJ Madness. But that's going to do it for this video. So thank you guys so much for watching, and see you next time.